So let's say you have a large block of text, but the text is too large for the text area here. So here's your text area, and you only got so much room in it. But let's say you have, I don't know, maybe several pages worth of text. I'm going to show you how you handle that with something called the columnizer, which is this button right here to the far right with the sort of the two columns in it. Now I'm going to paste a very large amount of text into this area here. So I'm just going to paste it, and I'm going to let it go. So there you go. So it's been pasted in, and as you can see, it goes far below what the text field will accommodate. So now I'm just going to select it. Here, I just select it all again. Hang on a second. Or I'll just put my cursor into it. And then I'm going to select columnize. And the columnizer is going to come up. Ask me how many columns I want. I'm going to say 3. Now, it's taken all the text that I put in there, and it's actually made 3 columns out of it. And you notice down here, there's now a scroll bar, so I can actually scroll through it, which is kind of nice. And you can see it's laid out very much like columns of magazine text. But you notice it lost its formatting, which is something we do to actually make sure that the formatting is correct. So I'm going to actually reintroduce some formatting into all of this here. So just Command All. So that'll select all of it. And I'm going to choose, let's see, how about Garamond? Garamond's a very readable font. So I'm going to call it that. I'm going to make sure it's all bold or not bold. And I'm going to choose size, so I guess 12. Let's see how that looks. I guess 14 is probably a little bit more readable. And then I'm going to make sure it's all the same consistent color here. So we go up here and make sure it's all, make it kind of gray, because gray is actually somewhat more readable against black. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure all the text is flush and up against both the right and left sides of their columns. As you can see, there we go. Now I just totally did it. So that's kind of nice. And if I insert anything in here, it flows all throughout the entire text region. And now I've got something that looks very much like a real world magazine page. Now, the last thing I've got to do is go in here and actually add back in some formatting. So for example, if I want to, whoops, sorry, I lost my place there really quickly. So if I want to go in here and, for example, stylize this T in front of the wind, so it looks more like the first chapter, or the head of a section, I go in there and do it just like that. I'm going to go forward here. I notice there's a little bit of text. Here we go, right here. That has to be stylized to match the rest of the text. I'm going to go in here and do that. It actually should be a different font. So why don't we call that Georgia, so it looks a little bit more gothical. I want to actually center that and make that bold. So now we've got stylized text all the way through, and it's ready to go. And I just simply go up here and hit Save. Now I'm going to take you through this entire Glossi so you can see the columnizer in action. And so this is how you handle the problem of, right now without the columnizer, it's a little bit difficult to sort of make sure that all the text is matched up correctly with the sizing of the box. But you see here now when I go into preview, there's the page we just made. Now you don't have to worry about that problem at all. It's just taken care of for you, and people can just sit inside this one page and scroll left to right. And actually, I've got the text box positioned a little strangely here, I've noticed, so I'm going to go back in here and sort of pull it to the right a little bit. There we go. Now if I go back to my preview, it looks okay. There we go. That's more of what we want there. So you don't have to worry about sort of getting the exact amount of text in there correctly. You can just basically paste an article right in there. I'll show you some examples where it actually had done that on previous page. So here's another example of it. With a picture as a background, you can totally do that. I'm going to go back here one more page. This is actually one of the first pages, and as you can see, I've stylized a little bit against that dust devil there. You want to be a little bit careful with the background pictures, as they can tend to obscure the text. You want to make sure you choose something that it's got a nice sort of contrast. Contrast is the word I'm looking for with the text and the background. We actually do not allow the typical buttons that we normally allow in the text area. If you recall these buttons right here, you notice they're grayed out. They actually don't work yet with the columnizer, so we've grayed them out just to prevent you from making a mistake or expecting that they will work. But that's how you use the columnizer inside of the Glossi editor.